Right now at 7, Smith County and Longview firefighters answering the call for help in the Panhandle. This as those wildfires rage on, the effort to control the flames and the possible challenges that crews could face today. And he helped bring the fun to Chuck E. Cheese. Now he's taking a swing at Top Golf. The company's new CEO just brought in to boost the bottom line. And if you're looking to buy a home, you may be in luck. Why now may be the best time to score a good deal. And it's National Love Your Pet Day. We are taking a moment to share the love and show all your furry friends that you've sent into our newsroom. Just how cute are they this morning?
We got some clouds rolling in and some cooler temperatures on tap for the next few days. I'll show you just how long that'll last coming up in your forecast. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Just after 7, good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. We're so glad you could join us here on air and on CBS 19 Plus as well. Well, we want to get over to Joel now. He's keeping a track of things over in the Weather Center. We do know as you step outside, you're going to feel the chill in the air.
I will say the area is filling up with some chillier temperatures
Yes.
there, so I got you there for sure. We do have some clouds rolling in. We got a sea breeze kind of trying to fight this cold front, so as a result, we got a little bit of cloud action coming in, and we'll have a little bit more of that through the rest of the afternoon. 40s and 50s all across the area. A cold front is draped here across East Texas, so you'll notice down to the south where temperatures are a little bit warmer. Got Nacogdoches, Lufkin, and Hemphill all in the low 60s, but deeper within this cooler air mass, we get a little bit chillier as we head further to the north. All in all, pretty chilly start. Definitely going to want the jacket as you're heading out, but you got the wind now coming in from the north at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that will hold steady throughout the rest of the day. That's ushering in some cooler temperatures as well. Up to 60 by noon, 63 by 2 o'clock. Mainly just dealing with cloudy skies for today. Not the most attractive day, but luckily we'll have a little bit more sunshine for Saturday afternoon after a round of showers possible during the morning, only running at about a 20% chance. Up to 66 degrees also for tomorrow. Another cold front comes through Saturday into Sunday, so we'll be down into the upper 50s by Sunday. That won't be lasting too much longer though, as temperatures will go way above the average once again. I'll show you when that happens in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joel. Well, wildfires continuing to burn in parts of the Texas Panhandle. The 8-Ball fire in Armstrong County is about 70% contained, with 13,000 acres burned, but flames are moving quickly near rural communities and highways. The Lavender fire in Oldham County has burned over 18,000 acres, fueled by just strong winds and just bone-dry conditions out there. There are 4 Smith County ESD2 firefighters on the ground fighting that fire. Crews there only have it about 40% contained. Smith County ESD2 says if necessary, their crews will stay on the scene for 2 weeks before swapping out with a new strike team. And these new fires are flaring up near the same ground scorched by the Smokehouse Creek fire 2 years ago. Our sister station in Dallas spoke with families who lost everything back then. Many say they're still rebuilding their land, their herds, and just their sense of peace.
It was horrible. Even now, when pictures, of reminders pop up on our phones and we see them, it just brings all that rushing back. So even the smell of smoke now just kind of puts you on edge.
Firefighters from across Texas are now on the ground helping with containment. Governor Greg Abbott also activated additional response resources as dangerously dry conditions continue to spread across the state. A new trial date has not yet been set for one of the 3 people charged in the 2016 disappearance and death of a pregnant Kilgore woman. Alan Sutton Jr. appeared in court yesterday for a status hearing in the capital murder case tied to the death of Shariah Grant. She was 8 months pregnant when she went missing. Indictments allege that the trio struck her with a blunt object and set her on fire. Her body has never been found. The state says it continues to review thousands of recorded phone calls and is working to identify additional witnesses as preparations move forward. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for May with a trial anticipated sometime next spring. Tyler police have identified the pedestrian struck and killed Wednesday afternoon. It happened in the 1400 block of East Gentry Parkway. Officers say Lindsay Null was not crossing at a designated crosswalk at the time of the crash. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she later died. The driver also went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the driver has been interviewed, and this time, no charges are pending. Tyler police are using this case as a reminder for both drivers and pedestrians to stay alert on the road. And according to AAA, more than 700 pedestrians were killed on Texas roadways last year alone. And while that number is slightly down, officials say the danger is still very real. From busy highways to city streets, officials warn both drivers and pedestrians that they need to stay alert. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza reports.
Now, standing at a busy intersection like this may not seem dangerous, but when cars are moving up to 55 miles an hour, one misstep, one moment of distraction could be deadly. Pedestrian crashes are becoming a growing concern across East Texas, especially along busy highways.
I have attended to 2 deaths this year.
At least 4 pedestrian crashes have been reported across East Texas in just the past week, 3 of them deadly.
And from their starting point, looking across the roadway, the last lane appears narrower than the first. That's an illusion. It's not reality. Pedestrians misjudge the speed of cars, thinking they can get to the other side.
Smith County's Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2, Judge Andy Dunklin, is often called to these scenes to determine the cause of death.
Most of the time, people do not survive being struck by a vehicle. And if they do, they're severely injured. It's just not a good way to cross a roadway.
Dunklin says many of these crashes come down to split-second decisions.
A car traveling 55 miles an hour is covering 80 feet per second and needs over 400 feet of dry pavement to come to a stop. A large truck may need more than that.
AAA Texas spokesperson Daniel Armbruster says despite the trend, year-to-year numbers for pedestrian crashes are down.
768 pedestrians were killed on Texas roadways in 2024. That was a 5.1% decrease.
But a number that's still too high.
Pedestrian crashes are often preventable, so slowing down just a few miles per hour, that does give you more time to react.
He says the biggest factor for all wrecks, including pedestrian crashes, is speed.
It gives pedestrians a much better chance of surviving, and that small decision behind the wheel can save a life.
And AAA spokesperson says that most pedestrian crashes happen after dark, and distractions behind the wheel are only making things worse. So the message is clear whether you're driving or walking to slow down, stay alert, and don't take the risk. For CBS 19, I'm Robert De La Garza.
It is 7:10 and time for your morning headlines. There is a new top man at Topgolf. The Dallas-based sports entertainment company says David McKillips will take over as CEO on Monday. McKillips is stepping down as CEO of Chuck E. Cheese's parent company. Topgolf says that he will oversee the company's strategy and growth just a month after a private equity company completed its purchase of a majority stake in the company. And Hollywood is mourning the loss of actor Eric Dane. He died from ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, less than a year after publicly sharing his diagnosis. ALS is a progressive disease that attacks nerve cells throughout the body. Dane rose to fame in TV's Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria. In a statement, Dane's representatives said that he, quote, became a passionate advocate for awareness and research, determined to make a difference for others facing the same fight. Eric Dane was 53. And to look at life outside of Earth, President Trump says he will direct the Pentagon to release files on UFOs and extraterrestrial life. This follows former President Barack Obama's comments hinting at life on other planets. It's unclear when the records will be made public. And there is good news if you're looking for a house. Mortgage rates are now at their lowest level in more than 3 years. Freddie Mac says the average 30-year fixed mortgage sits at just over 6%. Experts expect the lower rates will help boost home buying this spring. Well, it has been 3 years since 17-year-old Kip Lewis from Marshall was shot and killed at a Mardi Gras parade in Shreveport. Now, with a hearing in the case later this week, Kip's family is continuing to speak out. Peyton Manuel has the story.
It happened 3 years ago, but for these parents, the memories are a constant reminder.
He was a junior in high school. He didn't even get a chance to do much. And you decided to take his life. Why would, I can't even say his name. I literally cannot say his name. Why did that person do that to my son?
Their son, Kip Lewis, was only 17 when he was shot and killed at a Mardi Gras parade in 2023. His parents say he went with friends, also teenagers they say they knew. Now, with Mardi Gras in the air, they are forced to think about what happened.
So it's a constant reminder.
It's a constant.
With people there.
And you hear about it on the news, and then of course you hear other things that happen at Mardi Gras, and you're just like, it's becoming an unsafe place to be or to go.
Shreveport police reportedly told KSLA that Kip and his friends were horseplaying around the truck they drove in. Kip's parents say at some point their son got into the truck and then he was shot.
My question, why in the world would you just so casually put it up to someone's face and pull the trigger? Like, you knew you did that. Like, why in the world would you do that?
Why would your parents allow you to have a loaded gun on your person, you know, knowing you're going to a place like this?
Kip's parents say the initial findings of the investigation looked like the shooting was an accident. They don't believe that's the case. Because of this, the family thinks the charge of manslaughter will be a shorter sentence than what they think it should be. Still, 3 years later, his family choose to remember Kip and the life he lived.
He broke that barrier and he was like, I'm your friend. You know, it didn't matter any type of person. He was a friend to them.
Mm-hmm. He was just a great kid.
And a great brother and a great son.
The time now 7:14. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. 7:15 now. UT Austin System's Board of Regents approved a new policy that is getting a lot of attention in the education community. System leaders approved a policy that creates new guidelines for teaching controversial and contested subjects in the classroom. The new policy includes new expectations on faculty and requirements for their syllabi, mandating that they stick to topics outlined in it. UT System leaders say it balances academic integrity with academic freedom. Critics say it is a sweeping and vague policy. Board of Regents Chair Kevin Eltife says core education requirements should be designed in a way that allows students to meet them without needing to study unnecessary controversial subjects. He says the new policies give faculty the freedom to teach their subject in the classroom.
This ensures we enrich and develop our students into thoughtful citizens who are prepared to enter the workforce.
The new policy comes as universities are increasingly facing pressure from state leaders who have been critical of them teaching about race and gender. The new UT policy does not explicitly ban the teaching of certain topics. Several other public universities like Texas A&M and Texas Tech have passed policies in recent months that do limit discussion of race and gender. Businesses across East Texas, including CBS19, got the chance to know each other better yesterday and meet with the community. The 31st annual Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce Business Expo was the place to be. Our CBS19 team was there at the W.T. Brookshire Conference Center, along with more than 150 local businesses who set up booths and promoted a wide variety of products and services. The expo highlights everything that the Chamber of Commerce does.
And the whole point is to network with people in the community, and so people learn that they can do business with each other and find goods and services they may not even know existed in Tyler. It helps keep our dollars local, but it also helps the business find partners to be able to work with and make them all very successful.
Love connecting with people yesterday. It was great. And of course, CBS19 swag, also a hot commodity. And it was just a fun time out there yesterday afternoon, getting to know everyone in our community. All right, this is a good one. It's a good day, National Love Your Pet Day. And you already know we love our furry friends here at CBS19. Maybe you have a dog or a cat, or you prefer to care for a fish or hang out with the birds. No matter what kind of companion you're keeping, just tell us about it over on Facebook. We do have a lot of comments and a lot of cuties that I was going through. There's like a famous dog in East Texas that's on there.
Oh,
cute
really?
little sunnies. If you need something to make you smile today, go over to our Facebook comments and check these out. I mean, look at these precious little things.
The tongue.
I know, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh,
Apparently
my
he's been in
gosh.
some national commercials.
Oh my gosh, I can see him in a Reese's commercial.
Oh, look,
That's
the kitty
color.
hiding there. That is
Oh, my goodness.
so
Like, I'm
adorable.
just looking out the window. I don't know what you're doing.
And this dog is like, do I really want to be in this snow? I don't, I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that.
Aw, the kitty companion. Does that remind you of your kitty a little bit?
A little bit. It looks a little bit bigger than my cat.
Oh,
but yeah.
and look at those blue eyes on that puppy. I've got a blue-eyed pup too.
Aw,
Keep them
cute.
coming. I love seeing everybody's pets this morning. That's what I've been doing during the break, is checking out your little furry friends. So yeah, always makes everything better.
Absolutely. I'll have to check it out myself too.
All right, well, as you get ready to head out today, don't forget a little coat, because you're going to need it before you hit the road.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely a chilly one out there, but luckily the roads, they are in great shape. As we take a look at I-20, you are good to go. 2 hours over to Dallas, hour and 30 minutes over into Shreveport. Nice smooth sailing across the area, even into US 69 as well. 2.5 hours up to Denison with an hour and 30 minutes down south to, into Lufkin. We have 55 minutes at this point from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, 55 from Tyler to Palestine, 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview, and 45 minutes at this point from Tyler to Athens. So all roadways are good to go. No interruptions to report so far. And CBS 19 Live Radar is a nice quiet picture. We got more clouds surging in from the south and some fog just south of the viewing area. I think we will steer clear of any sort of fog chances for today, thanks to some cooler and drier air moving into the area. So with that being said, green lights for you into this morning and into the afternoon. Definitely a chilly start to the day. Definitely bundle up. 40s and 50s all across the area. We'll see 60s for the afternoon with a little bit more clouds, but otherwise roadways should all be in fantastic shape. I'll be back with your full forecast coming up later.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Cooper Whitus has effortlessly navigated what's been sort of a topsy-turvy year for him personally. Now hoping to lead Tatum basketball back to the state championship after he wasn't even sure he'd be donning the green and white at the beginning of the school year.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
That guy, I mean, he can score. You know, he's averaging 23 points a game, and even when guys try to face guard him, he's still scoring us, keeping those numbers up.
Cooper Whitus is the only member of Tatum's state championship starting five that did not graduate after last season, so he's taken it upon himself to lead the current squad on the court as well as off of it.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. Honestly, you know, we have a very young group, and I've kind of learned from Jacory and all the older guys I played with last year over the years what it takes to be a leader. And you know, you can never get down, especially because these guys are so young. If they see me get down, they're just going to be the exact same way. So you just got to keep a level head, and it's next play every single time.
It wasn't a guarantee that Whitus would be back either, though. After the senior's family moved to Lindale this summer, Cooper obviously wanted to move with them while attending and playing sports in Lindale, but the UIL Executive Committee denied his request to do so, saying that he was moving for athletic reasons. It wasn't the outcome Whitus initially wanted, hoping to be closer to family, but in some ways it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
It's all in God's plan. It might have been a little bit of a setback, but honestly, I mean, we got back here within like 2 days after that stuff happened, and just I thank my parents for just sticking with me and my entire family the entire time, and we handled it as a group and just left it up to God. And I mean, it's a blessing just to be back here with all my guys in the community once again.
While head coach Jamie Bradley ultimately just wanted the best for Coop, he wasn't exactly devastated to find out he'd be sticking around.
I'm just a blessing to him to come back and be able to try to finish out and give back to these younger guys, you know, and he's been phenomenal since he's been back, helping them out.
With all that well behind him now, it's been full steam ahead on the court for Whitus, and despite the new look team, number 30 is warning opponents not to underestimate the Eagles.
Everybody thinks we're not really going to make a run this year, but we're looking to turn some heads pretty early on. So.
Sticking with local hoops, SFA women's basketball laid the hammer down against New Orleans last night, 101-64, led by Key Roseby and her 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Lady Jacks will look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row on Saturday now against Nicholls State. And we talked about Sabine. Now we're talking about Westwood. 2 head coaching vacancies opening up yesterday. Westwood is looking to replace Richard Bishop and find a new athletic director and head football coach. Bishop found himself in hot waters with the UIL a couple times, first for videotaping opponents while scouting and then involving an unenrolled 7th grade student in workouts. In Olympic action, Team USA women's figure skater Alyssa Liu won gold in the women's free skate final, ending a 20-year medal drought for American women in the event and a 24-year gold medal drought. Liu finished with a total score of 226.79, a 150.2 in the free skate, and a 76.59 in the short program. What a time for the 20-year-old to pull off her season best free skate score. Also on the ice, Team USA women's hockey downed arch rival Canada 2-1 to claim gold. The Stars and Stripes were just 2 minutes away from losing the final 1-0 until team captain Hillary Knight came to the rescue, redirecting a Layla Edwards rocket from the point past the Canadian goaltender to tie things up and give the U.S. new life. Then Megan Keller scored the game winner just over 4 minutes into overtime. Step aside, Canadians. The U.S. is now the best at hockey, too. And happening today, baseball is officially back, people. This is not a drill. Spring training games get started with a little less than half the league hitting the diamond, including the Rangers. Nathan Eovaldi will get the start for Texas against the Kansas City Royals. First pitch is set for this afternoon at 2:05, with Eovaldi planning to throw about 2 innings. The Astros will play their first spring game on Saturday. But that's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
Excited for baseball season. Okay, we're about to step away for our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus.
This Black History Month, CBS 19 honors the stories, achievements, and voices that have shaped our community and our nation for generations to come. Join us Thursday, February 26th at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, March 1st at 7 a.m. on CBS 19, sponsored by Barksdale Federal Credit Union.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. Wildfires continue to burn parts of the Texas Panhandle. The 8-Ball fire in Armstrong County is about 70% contained, with 13,000 acres burned, but flames are moving quickly. The Lavender fire in Oldham County has burned over 18,000 acres, fueled by strong winds and bone-dry grass. There are 4 Smith County ESD2 firefighters on the ground fighting that fire. Smith County ESD2 says if necessary, they'll stay on scene for 2 weeks before swapping out with a new strike team. Longview crews are also there fighting fires. A new trial date has not been set yet for one of the 3 people charged in the 2016 disappearance and death of a pregnant Kilgore woman. Alan Sutton Jr. appeared in court yesterday for a status hearing in the capital murder case tied to the death of Shariah Grant. She was 8 months pregnant when she went missing. Indictments allege that the trio struck her with a blunt object and set her on fire. Her body has never been found. The state says it continues to review thousands of recorded phone calls and is working to identify additional witnesses as preparations move forward. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for May, with a trial anticipated sometime next spring. A former East Texas police chief accused of falsifying records is one step closer to trial. John J. Portillo, the former Coffee City police chief, appeared in Henderson County in a court yesterday for a status hearing. He's facing 6 counts of tampering with government records, all tied to questions about information on his job application for the job in court. Both sides told the judge that they were unable to reach a resolution. Prosecutors say they're now working to subpoena out-of-state witnesses. Portillo's attorney says they expect to head to trial in the fall. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is helping put fresh, healthy food on the table for families across the area. Today, they are teaming up with their partners at the East Texas Food Bank for a community produce distribution. It will be held at the church on North Broadway starting at 10 a.m. According to the East Texas Food Bank, the church has already been distributing fruits and veggies for several months, but it's now ready to help more East Texans. Let's get over to Joel now for an update on your forecast as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, we got a pretty chilly weekend ahead of us. There's a cold front in progress here across East Texas. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover as a result of that cold front and a little bit of a sea breeze as well. 60s for this afternoon. Couple of peaks of sunshine, otherwise a pretty cloudy forecast. Then as we move into tomorrow, we could have a couple of sprinkles during the morning, but clouds will overspread the area until we get to the afternoon. High temperatures in the low to mid 60s once again. Then 30s to begin your Sunday. Could be as low as the low 30s, potentially down to freezing. Then upper 50s to low 60s for Sunday afternoon with more sunshine. Here's your 7-day forecast. 59 for Sunday, 59 for Monday. If you don't like that weather, wait a few more days because temperatures will be climbing well above the average once again in the low 80s.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Wildfires tearing across the Great Plains, burning an area nearly twice the size of Chicago. The dangerous fire conditions fueling those flames. Plus, a former East Texas police chief accused of fraud has a trial date. What happens next?
And we got some cooler temperatures on the way here for East Texas as a cold front continues to drift its way to the south. We'll talk about how long that'll last coming up in your forecast later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Yard on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. Thanks for joining us on CBS 19 Plus. Well, high winds are fanning the flames of fires burning in the plains this week. At one point, more than 750,000 people in the region saw the highest level of extremely critical fire weather conditions. Reed Binion reports.
The Great Plains got hit with dangerous fire weather conditions for a third consecutive day Thursday. Firefighters battling more than a dozen wildfires that have burned tens of thousands of acres and forced evacuations in the region. The largest of them is the Ranger Road mega fire. It started Tuesday in Oklahoma, then spread into southern Kansas. Since then, it's burned an area nearly twice the size of Chicago. Another wildfire broke out in Woodward, Oklahoma, and destroyed structures. One home nearly consumed by the blaze saved after firefighters managed to stop the flames just inches from the structure. Since Tuesday, other blazes have broken out across the region as well, including two in the Texas Panhandle, the Lavender and 8-Ball fires. Weather conditions complicating the job of containing the flames.
The wind in our minds for any firefighter is the devil, and right now, again, the winds are high. We're expected to have high winds in the next couple days.
The Texas A&M Forest Service said that as of Thursday evening, the Lavender Fire had burned more than 18,300 acres. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
7:34 now. Britain's former Prince Andrew remains under investigation this morning, one day after his shocking arrest in the United Kingdom. The probe was sparked by recently released Epstein files that suggest he may have given sensitive government information to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein back when he served as a trade envoy. This marks the first time a senior member of the British royal family has been arrested in nearly 400 years. CBS News' Jared Hill has more.
Slouched in an SUV, former Prince Andrew captured leaving a police station in England nearly 12 hours after his stunning arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Authorities searched his homes as they probe whether Andrew provided confidential government information to now deceased financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This would have been while the ex-prince worked as a trade envoy.
In the Epstein file release that we've seen recently in the last few weeks, there appear to have been documents and emails which Andrew forwarded to Jeffrey Epstein and other people, which appear to have been highly sensitive.
Prince Andrew became Andrew Mountbatten Windsor last year when King Charles stripped his younger brother of his official titles over his connection to Epstein and allegations of encounters with young women. The ex-prince has long denied any wrongdoing. The king carried on with Fashion Week events after releasing a statement on his brother's arrest, writing in part, "The law must take its course." The family of Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide after saying she was trafficked to the then prince while she was underage, welcomed the news.
This is the thread that we need to continue to pull to uncover the further allegations.
The historic development sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom.
He gets what he deserves.
Until something is proven in court, it's not fair to judge.
President Trump, when asked about Andrew.
I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family.
If charged, the former prince could face up to life in prison. Jared Hill, CBS News.
In an interview with the BBC yesterday, United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer said of the arrest that nobody is above the law. Australia's Prime Minister also weighed in, calling Andrew's arrest an extraordinary fall from grace. A former East Texas police chief accused of falsifying records is one step closer to trial. John J. Portillo, the former Coffee City police chief, appeared in a Henderson County court yesterday for a status hearing. He is facing 6 counts of tampering with government records, all tied to questions about information on his application for the job. In court, both sides told the judge they were unable to reach a resolution. Prosecutors say they're now working to subpoena out-of-state witnesses as they prepare their case. Portillo's attorney says they expect this to head to trial in the fall. A Gilmer woman who ran a Longview tax preparation business has now admitted to her role in a tax fraud scheme that cost the government nearly $250,000. Marnitha Scott appeared in federal court yesterday and pleaded guilty to conspiracy to assist in tax fraud. Prosecutors say Scott, who owned Fast Financial Firm and had 2 Longview locations, directed employees to falsify information on clients' returns, including claiming that business losses for people who didn't actually own businesses. Authorities say the fraudulent filings happened between 2019 and 2022. Scott now faces up to 5 years in federal prison. A sentencing date has not yet been scheduled. The UT Systems Board of Regents approved a new policy requiring faculty to take a broad and balanced approach to teaching controversial or contested issues. The policy states that faculty have a responsibility to foster a welcoming environment for all views and should fairly present different theories and scholarly evidence. Supporters say it reinforces integrity and quality in teaching, but some opponents say that the policy is vague about what counts as controversial and could chill professors from answering student questions.
And now with this proposal to decide what can and cannot be taught, taking it out of the hands of faculty members and into the hands of administrators who don't necessarily have the technical expertise, it will also severely impact the quality of teaching. So Texas students will suffer as a result.
The proposal did not say how the university system will enforce the guidance. Now that it has been approved, the UT System's 14 universities will have to figure out how to implement it, but there's no timeline for when it'll take effect. All month long, CBS19 is celebrating Black History Month, and today we are highlighting one of the best basketball players to ever come out of East Texas. Deborah K. Thomas came up from playing in center against local boys in her town before becoming known for her jump shot at Center High School. After becoming an All-American at Panola College, she went on to star at SFA and eventually the WBL, the first ever women's professional basketball league.
At that point, everything was exciting to everybody. In Iowa, where we played, we always had a lot of people to show up. In Iowa and Chicago, that was a big rival right there. And we would always sell out the games. People loved us up there.
Her work with the WBL put her name in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And make sure to join us for the CBS19 Black History Month special, celebrating resilience across East Texas and the trailblazers, just like Deborah, who paved the way for future generations. Don't miss these powerful stories, airing February 26th at 6:30 p.m. and again on March 1st, only on CBS 19. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is helping put fresh, healthy food on the table for families across the area. Today, they are teaming up with their partners at the East Texas Food Bank for a community produce distribution. It will be held at the church on North Broadway starting at 10 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. According to the East Texas Food Bank, the church has already been distributing fruits and veggies for several months, but is now ready to reach more East Texans in need. While the temperatures are warming up, maybe later in the week, we're a little colder today, gardening experts say East Texans shouldn't rush into spring planting just yet. Yeah, that's why. CBS 19's Jamie Hazard spoke with a nursery owner and a master gardener about how plants react during freezes and what you need to know moving forward.
After days of freezing temperatures, gardeners across East Texas are stepping outside to assess the damage. At Breedlove Nursery in Tyler, owner Paul Breedlove says preparation made all the difference.
The inventory was not severely impacted because we did some measures to protect it.
Breedlove says plants that were still dormant handled the cold much better. The biggest concern? Anything already pushing new growth.
So if they're dormant, which everything was dormant when the big freeze came, there was less damage. But if you had things that were above ground in pots, the roots are more exposed, so they would be apt to be hurt.
Now that temperatures are climbing, customers are asking one big question. Is spring arriving too soon?
The general concern is spring coming too early? Therefore, if a freeze comes later, would things be more tender with new growth, and therefore you get damaged?
Breedlove says don't let the warm days fool you. Delicate bedding plants should wait until after Easter, typically late March or early April, before going in the ground. Over in Smith County, Master Gardener Belinda Cromer says this freezing was significant, but not devastating.
Wasn't anything like Snowmageddon and the past really harsh freezes. I think the ice, at least here in Lindale, insulated a lot of the plants.
She says in many gardens, damage has been minimal, but patience is critical.
When you see damage on your plants, the first thing you want to do is whack them down or dig them up, and don't do that.
And if your plants look brown or wilted?
No, it's not too late. We're just now warming up. Give them time, patience.
Both experts agree East Texas weather is unpredictable. The best tools gardeners have right now are preparation and patience. For CBS 19, I'm Jamie Hazard.
Thank you, Jamie. Experts say now is a great time to start seeds indoors and plant trees or shrubs, but hold off a little bit on those pretty flowers until we're safely past the threat of more frosts out there. Well, from Super Mario Brothers to K-pop demon hunters to Bluey, a big toy trend is the tie-in to shows and movies right now. Bradley Blackburn shows us the fun at the annual toy fair in New York and has a peek inside some goodies that kids will be asking for all year long.
Whether it's swings, sings, or flies, they have it all at the toy fair. There we go. And the Toy Insider's Lori Schacht knows how to spot the good eggs.
Something amazing is going to happen. Look.
Yoshi from the new Super Mario movie hatches from its shell, revealing an interactive, adorable dino.
So we can tap his nose. Go ahead, tap his nose.
Hi, Yoshi. K-pop Demon Hunters has exploded too.
Golden everywhere.
From bracelet makers to Bitsies and beyond. These kinds of movie tie-ins, they still sell a lot of toys.
They sell a ton of toys. Kids are going to want all this because of what it is.
It's 7 football fields of toys. Greg Ahern helps lead the show and says new toys take years to develop.
2 years usually in planning for toys, from idea to the moment it gets picked up at the store.
Toys help kids create too. These solar-powered flowers teach robotics.
I love when I see kits like this that are really bringing the girls in.
And inflatable air builders arrive this spring.
Now they can build anything.
They click together, blow up, and then store easily.
And when kids are done with it, it goes back in the box.
Right. Easy to deflate.
For younger kids, the new For Real Sloth smiles when you care for him. And Bluey is welcoming you to her biggest playhouse ever.
This is a low-tech toy.
Yes, the toy companies are getting back to basics with our kids. It's good for our kids. It's the way kids are supposed to play.
New ways to have old-fashioned fun as the toy industry winds up for 2026. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
I love that
Wow.
sloth. If I was a kid, I'd want it.
That's crazy, like the hatching Yoshi, like how do you put it back together?
Yeah,
I guess is it only a one-time thing? I'll have to look into that.
So were you like a make-believe toy kind of kid, or did you like more of the tech stuff?
Oh, I think a little bit of both. I loved Hot Wheels, like the little cars and stuff. I had these things called Trick Tracks. They don't make them anymore, but they're just like chain reactions. Like you have one stunt, goes to the next stunt, goes to the next stunt. It was really cool.
That is cool. I was definitely like the make-believe kind of girl. Loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love toys and playing.
Me too.
All right, check this out.
Oh, thank you. Hi there, I'm Lily Pad. Let's play. Extinction! Not again! I want to talk to you, Device.
Please, call me Lily.
Me and the toys have been working all summer to try and get Bonnie to make friends.
Yeah.
But then you had to ruin it. You're not even listening to me.
I'm always listening.
Speaking of toys, the first official trailer for Toy Story 5 is now out. The gang is reuniting as their jobs are challenged by the electronics that kids are obsessed with today. Director Andrew Stanton describes the film as an existential reckoning for toys facing the reality of becoming obsolete in the digital age. Toy Story 5 opens in theaters on June 19th. I like the theme of this movie because I agree. I think learning to play with toys, learning make-believe, learning all of those things are so crucial to development.
Right, yeah, just it really helps you just to have that imagination and stuff. I saw that trailer yesterday. I thought it was really clever for sure. And it was just interesting to see Woody make a comeback with a little bald spot too.
I know.
With a little bald spot, it's crazy.
He's aging like we all are.
We are.
Well, it's that time of year. Girl Scouts across America have been selling cookies, showing off their entrepreneurial spirit. While many get to buy delicious Thin Mints, Samoas, or lemonades, girls in the program get something far more priceless, a chance to learn valuable business and social skills. It is National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend. So if you see somebody out there selling one, buy yourself a box or 20, no judgment here. It is for a great cause. What's your favorite?
Oh, the only ones I've really had, I think I've had the Thin Mints, but then there's like the peanut butter ones too that are really good.
Yes, the tagalongs, I think that's
what they're called, yeah.
I like those. A Thin Mint is the best. You put them in the refrigerator and they're cold and they're
Mint is better when it's cold.
Yes, my kids buy their own boxes now, and they're like, this one's mine. I'm like, you're gonna eat that whole thing? You can't share it with your brother or your sister?
It's all mine.
I also like the Samoas, the one that have a little bit of chocolate and the coconut on it.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've had that one. I'll have to try it.
It's so good.
I'll have to try it for sure.
So good. Well, huge news from one of East Texas' biggest stars. Miranda Lambert is being inducted into the Texas Heritage Songwriters Hall of Fame this weekend. The country star from Lindale has a long history with songwriting, penning not only many of her own tunes, but often lending a hand to others. Miranda is the mastermind behind the songs I Thought You Should Know with Morgan Wallen and Nicole Gallion. What Am I Gonna Do, written with Chris Stapleton, and the #1 song on the charts right now, Ella Langley's Choosing Texas. Fellow Texan George Strait is also being inducted with Miranda Lambert on February 21st at the Texas Heritage Songwriters Association Hall of Fame. Do you have a favorite song that Miranda Lambert's written? If so, go tell us. I recorded something on this earlier on our Facebook page so you can see it.
That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
I know, and she's from right here in East Texas.
Right here, representing.
And of course, she also writes a lot of her own songs, but it's all those songs that she's written for others, so pretty as well. That's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing. Congratulations again.
And I love that song, Choosing Texas. If you haven't listened to it, you've got to. All right, well, the weather, we're choosing East Texas this weekend.
We're choosing East Texas for some cooler temperatures, that's for sure. We got a cold front making progress here across the area, and we got a little bit more cloud cover that we're watching for as well as we take a look at satellite and radar. The cold front is, again, making progress here across the area. There is a sea breeze. Notice the little showers just south of our viewing area. That's the sea breeze trying to fight this cold front, but it can't really do so, so it's got a little bit of shower activity along with that. We could have a couple of showers drift into the area, at least across deep East Texas, but for the rest of us, we're just going to be just dealing with those clouds. A little bit of sun right now, but we'll see a little bit more clouds for the later half of the day. Temperatures as you step outside are very chilly across areas along and north of I-20, but further to the south, closer to where that boundary actually is, you'll see some warmer temperatures in the upper 50s and even low 60s, so a little bit of a warmer start out there. But for most of us, definitely going to need that heavier jacket for sure. There's the winds right now. That's spilling down some cooler temperatures, 5 to 10, maybe the occasional gust up to about 15 miles per hour. But that's transporting a lot of cooler air into the area, and that'll stick around for the duration of the weekend with a second cold front on the way as well. We will be a little bit cooler, especially for the second half of the weekend. 63 by the time we get to 2 o'clock. Again, those clouds will be on the increase as the cold front continues to stream to the south. 66 degrees for tomorrow with a couple of showers during the morning. A second cold front arrives into Sunday with temperatures in the upper 50s. Luckily, there will be some warmer temperatures on the way if you like that sort of thing. I'll show you that in your 7-day forecast coming up later.
Thank you, Joel. Well, it's tax season, and recently there has been a lot of attention around the new Trump accounts. If you don't already know, starting a Trump account can help families start to build a savings for their children's future. Ivan Rodriguez joins us with what parents need to know about these accounts.
This year, families will have one more option to help support their children's financial futures. It's called the 530A account, better known as a Trump account. To qualify, a child has to be under the age of 18 at the end of the year in which the account is open for them. They also must be a U.S. citizen and have a valid Social Security account. The first step for many parents begins this tax season.
File Form 4547 on their taxes when they file this year. That is going to basically tell the IRS that you plan to or want to open this account.
Eligible kids born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 are then expected to receive a one-time contribution of $1,000 from the federal government.
$1,000 over 18 years could easily grow to $3,000 or $4,000.
And if your child isn't born in that time frame,
millions of other children are eligible to open Trump accounts and can get all sorts of free money potentially in forms of contributions from sources other than their families.
Family, friends, employers, states, nonprofit organizations, and philanthropists can all make contributions to an account. However, family and employer contributions combined may not exceed $5,000 a year for a single account. That limit is subject to change in 2027 based on cost of living.
I think so much of the discussion is should I do a Trump account or a 529 plan or a trust account? I think the right answer is both.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Good information. Well, it's National Love Your Pet Day, although I think we love our pets every day. And you already know we love our furry friends here at CBS19. Maybe you have a dog or a cat or prefer to take care of a fish or hang out with the birds. It really doesn't matter. No matter what kind of companion you're keeping up with, tell us about them over in the comments on our Facebook page. We have lots of people sharing photos. And did you know most households in the U.S. have at least one pet? I mean, look at that cutie. While there are more cats than dogs in the U.S., maybe turtles, most households have dogs, a little bit more than cats, but it's not by much. No matter what kind of pet brings you joy, like these little cuties, it's a day for pet lovers everywhere to set aside a little time, give a little extra attention to those fur babies, and maybe pamper them just a little bit. If you like going to get a puppuccino for them, maybe today is the day, or that special treat that they like, or just throw the ball with them a little bit longer.
There you go.
For my pets, it wouldn't be so much the treats, but just throw the ball with me for like 5 hours straight.
Just 5 hours? That's
all Millie wants in life.
Very active dog for sure.
Yeah, Bailey gets into it for like 2 seconds and then she's like, I'm just gonna sit now.
That's so funny. Yeah, my fiance loves to go into Petco with me. We'll just walk around and look.
And just look at those sweeties. Yeah. All right, well, today's a good day to be inside because it is a little bit chillier out there.
It is.
Than it has been the last few.
Absolutely, and that's going to be very temporary, and temperatures will be slightly below average for this time of year as we head into this weekend. But as I said before, it will be temporary because the temperatures will be climbing as we head into next week. Let's take a look at today at a glance. Mostly cloudy will turn into cloudy for the afternoon. Temperatures starting out pretty chilly in the 40s, then up to the low 60s for the afternoon. Here's your future skycast. Clouds beginning to build in through the day. Could have a couple of showers across deep East Texas. Otherwise, pretty cloudy forecast all in all, 60s for the afternoon. And then we'll have a little bit more of an opportunity for sunshine into Saturday with a cloudy start, with the winds still ripping out of the north, giving us some cooler temperatures, 60s again for your Saturday. And watch what happens into Sunday. Winds calm down, skies clear. Temperatures could get as low as the low 30s, down to freezing in some parts of the area. A frosty Sunday morning is certainly likely there. Upper 50s and low 60s for the afternoon. Still pretty chilly, but we will have some sunshine overhead. 66 again for Saturday. Could have a couple of showers across deep East Texas for the morning, and then 59 heading into Sunday. Have high pressure, which will finally be in control here. So we'll have a lot more sunshine, and of course we do have another cold front coming in, as you can note from the temperature difference Saturday into Sunday, 66 down to 59, a second cold front. And we also have the wind starting to increase along with that dry, cool air coming in. So for tomorrow, low to moderate risk for fire danger all across the area. do not recommend burning anything whatsoever, just given those ingredients in place, burn ban or not. So 7-day forecast shaping up like this: 59 heading into Sunday and Monday. Those will likely be the coolest days in our 7-day forecast until we get to Tuesday. A strong south wind will really usher in some much warmer temperatures, up to 68 for Tuesday, 82 for Wednesday, and even 77 possible into Thursday despite a slight cold front. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. Tyler police have identified the pedestrian struck and killed Wednesday afternoon. It happened in the 1400 block of East Gentry Parkway. Officers say Lindsay Null was not crossing at a designated crosswalk at the time of the crash. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she later died. The driver also went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the driver has been interviewed, and at this time, no charges are pending. Tyler police are using this case as a reminder for both drivers and pedestrians to stay alert on the road. According to AAA, more than 750 pedestrians were killed on Texas roads last year. And while that number is slightly down, officials say the danger is still very real. Pedestrian crashes are becoming a growing concern across East Texas, especially along busy highways. Smith County Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2, Andy Dunklin, says he's already been called to 2 deaths this year. And at least 4 pedestrian crashes have been reported across East Texas in just the past week. 3 of them deadly.
Looking across the roadway, the last lane appears narrower than the first. That's an illusion. It's not reality. Pedestrians misjudge the speed of cars, thinking they can get to the other side. Most of the time, people do not survive being struck by a vehicle. And if they do, they're severely injured. It's just not a good way to cross a roadway.
AAA Texas spokesperson Daniel Armbuster says 768 pedestrians were killed on Texas roadways in 2024, about a 5% decrease from the year before, but it's still too high. Officials say most pedestrian crashes happen after dark, and he is urging both drivers and pedestrians to slow down and stay alert. A Gilmer woman pleaded guilty in court yesterday to conspiracy to assist in tax fraud. Prosecutors claim that Marnitha Scott directed Fast Financial Firm employees to falsify information on clients' returns. The scheme that cost the government nearly $250,000. Let's get a check of your weather now. Hey, Joel.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, definitely a cool start to the day. We'll end up with some cooler temperatures altogether for the next few days. 40s to begin. We'll have some more clouds as a result of a cold front and a little bit of a sea breeze as well. 60s again for the afternoon, and then we move into Saturday. We'll have some clouds to start, perhaps maybe a couple of showers. Temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. And then we'll wrap up the day with a little bit more sunshine as high pressure takes over the forecast. 60s for the afternoon on Saturday, and then the winds will ease up, will clear out for the remainder of your Saturday and into your Sunday. We could have temperatures as low as freezing in some parts of the area. So it's definitely a Sunday, frosty Sunday, and even into Monday too could be a possibility here. Upper 50s and low 60s, slightly below average for both Sunday and into Monday. That won't be lasting too much longer though, because those temperatures will be on their way up from there. Talking about highs once again in the upper 60s, even the low 80s will be a possibility as we head into the middle of next week. All right, welcome back, everybody. Here is one more look outside. We got some blue out there, but we will see a little bit more clouds heading into the rest of today. Luckily, we're off to a pretty decent start. Definitely a cool start out there. Temperatures in the upper 40s to the north, and then 50s in some of our central parts of the area, then 60s as you go further to the south. There's a cold front making its way through. It'll finally be all the way through as we head into the rest of the day, and we'll be in for some cooler temperatures for the weekend. Even cooler as another cold front comes in Saturday into Sunday, 66 down to 59. That'll be the same case into Monday as well. Very temporary, though, as temperatures go way back up above average in the upper 60s, and even low 80s will be returning for the middle of next week.
Love the roller coaster of East Texas weather.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I guess we have to. All right, the National Park Service has made it easier to visit 3 of their most popular national parks this summer. The Department of Interior announced Wednesday that Arches, Glacier, and Yosemite National Parks are lifting the timed entry and reservation requirements that they've had in place for their peak visitation periods. Advance reservations won't be required for Yosemite's firefall season from February through March either. Kevin Lilly, who is the acting Assistant Secretary for Fish, Wildlife and Parks, says, quote, "Our national parks belong to the American people, and our priority is keeping them open and accessible." Have you ever been to any of those?
I have. I've been to Arches, and it's beautiful.
Where, I was wondering, I have not been there. Where is it?
It's in Utah.
Utah.
It's in Utah. We went. I went over there for spring break 2019. We flew into Denver, then drove through the Rockies all the way into Utah, and then we finally made our last stop in Phoenix, Arizona. That was a beautiful drive.
I bet.
It was awesome.
I've been to Glacier National Park. A little scary because you're going up a glacier the whole time and the roads are tiny, but absolutely gorgeous. We went in the summer, so it closes at some point, Glacier National, because it gets, just too dangerous. But I would suggest going to see it.
Absolutely, I will.
Well, that is good news if you want to go visit one of those parks. And here's the other good news. It's Friday. Yay!
It is. Woo.
Don't forget to join us for the noon show. We've got that coming up here and on CBS19. And keep it on CBS19 Plus all day long for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a great morning. And don't forget to join us Monday, dark and early, for Morning Y'all.